I talk about this all the time with different people in the league, and I've said it on air before during a game. The hardest actions to guard right now in the NBA, what do you think they are? Besides, obviously, like Giannis head of steam in transition.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about that, but
Yeah.
actions that teams are running, what are the hardest ones?
I think everybody's running the Spain, the pick and roll. You know what I mean? The high mid with the back screen. And not just Giannis, but the throw ahead is killer right now. Just a defensive rebound, throw ahead, and just play. And if you get in the guy's way, it's a foul. If you touch him, it's a foul. And like you got to be able to keep up that pace. So that's two things that we're struggling with right now for sure. So that's just speaking from experience, is like the throw ahead and getting back and trying to get your defense set up.
I was at the Knicks game yesterday, and Tom Thibodeau is not known as necessarily the most creative offensive coach. But I took my two boys. It was an early game, so I took them both to the game. And at some point, they come out in an ATO, and I'm like, are they running flex? They ran flex to get to Spain action.
Yeah.
And I was like, the Mavs and Suns, I think, were the first two teams that really disguised getting into Spain action.
Right.
We would run it on certain teams I played in, like, it was so obvious.
Right.
I would start underneath the basket.
Start there,
Obviously, I'm going to
call
go
it stack.
Stack. Call it stack. Yeah. Now teams are disguising it so well. I'm like, yo, if the Knicks and Thibodeau are running flex into Spain, like this, it's hard, man.
Yeah,
it's hard. I'll throw one other action, and that is the post splits with Steph. The post splits with Steph.
Yeah.
And because I guarded that.
Yeah.
And that to me was fucking impossible.
Yeah, and now it's Clay and Jordan Poole with Draymond and Looney that's been doing it forever. So it's even harder, to do it, to guard those guys. They do it the best for sure. Boston's got a couple of things that's hard to guard with the personnel that they have. But the pace and the execution, like when it's rolling, it's hard to get control of some of these teams for sure.
In retrospect, looking back at the 19 defense in particular, were there things that stood out to you, thinking about it now, that kind of contributed to your guys' level of success just on that side of the floor?
Yeah, I just think it was just all-timers, like when you really look at it, you know what I mean? And not in the sense of like the greatest of all-time players, but like Marc Gasol, Serge Ibaka, Kawhi Leonard, Danny Green, Kyle Lowry. Let's just stop there, right? Then Pascal, myself, Norman Powell. So it's like, it was just such a high level of detail and focusing, and just like, there's things that you have to talk about, and then there's things that you do without thinking. And when all five guys can do it without necessarily like having to conversate about it every possession, or like, I don't have to wonder where you're going, I don't have to wonder where JJ's going, I just know you're going to be there. That's kind of what we got to towards the end of the year. And I think that was the biggest key. You got great individual and team defenders, and you just put them together with some creativeness from the coaching staff. It was a great mix for sure.
I'll say this, having played against that team, basketball is actually a pretty simple game. Can you beat your guy and draw a second defender and make a play from there?
Yeah.
If it's a two-man action, can you bring a third defender in the action? What you guys did, I know because you blitzed every Joel Embiid handoff I had in that 7-game series with fucking Mark, who I can't see over, or Serge. But what you guys did is, you would say, fuck it. Like, we're going to put a second defender in a help position at the nail.
Yeah.
We're going to bring a third guy we're going to involve a third guy in a two-man action, and then you'd scramble out of it. And the intuitiveness with which you guys scrambled out when there was that 3-on-2 or that 4-on-3 on the backside, that to me is what made that team elite.
Yeah, I think the scramble was a special part. And like, it was more so like, because there's a flow and there's just rotations in the NBA that you will know until you're old as dirt. You know what I mean? That just when you go this way, this guy's going to excel. You hit this guy, he's going to run. Like, and we just kind of shifted it to say, okay, because every team practices against that. So when you come off and the big is going to jump it, you're going to hit Joe right over the top, and then he can hit the cutter. But no, we're going to blitz you and we're going to take Joe away. So make JJ throw it all the way across the court. And if he does that, God bless him. And the guy that's running over there, maybe to Ennis or Jimmy, that's going to be Kawhi or Pascal or whoever, you know what I mean, to catch the next play. And that was kind of like the specialness of it. And now it's, every team's doing it. You know what I mean? It's like finding success in the scramble and just trying to keep offenses off balance and keep them guessing.